On Monday, Israel's cabinet ministers approved of a plan to seize the Gaza Strip and stay in the Palestinian territory for an unspecified amount of time. Israel feels emboldened by their occupational stance because the Trump administration has already said that they would support the relocation of the Palestinian people. And if Trump gets his way, he would like to turn the area into the Riviera of the Middle East and call it Trump Gaza. Critics say that this move by Israel exacerbates the already dire humanitarian crisis for the Palestinian people and warn that these actions might be a war crime under international law. The next day, Trump meets with the newly elected Prime Minister of Canada. And even though they mostly touched base on the Prime Minister's election and tariffs, they also discussed Trump's comments about Canada becoming the 51st US state. In a friendly tone, Trump doubled down, listing why he thinks it's a great idea, and even though there's nothing on the table to make it happen, he also said, never say never. While Trump was talking, the Canadian Prime Minister felt compelled to interject several times. And when he finally was able to speak, he said Canada won't be for sale, ever. Then on Wednesday, attorneys of several immigrants asked a judge to intervene when they heard that their clients were pressured to sign a document that would deport them to Libya even though they are not from that country. In March, a judge ruled that immigrants can't be deported before getting a meaningful opportunity to argue that it could jeopardize their safety, and therefore any imminent removals to Libya would clearly violate this court order. When asked to comment on this ruling, the Trump administration said it does not discuss the details of our diplomatic communications with other governments. The next day, the first American was elected to be the next pope, and he decided to call himself Pope Leo XIV. President Trump congratulated the Pope by saying, "It is such an honor to realize that he is the first American Pope. What an honor for our country." However, some Trump supporters weren't as excited about this once they discovered some recent social media reposts by the new Pope. Posts like, "JD Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others." And another post about Trump's immigration policies that says, "Do you not see the suffering? Is your conscience not disturbed? How can you stay quiet?" Trump supporter Laura Loomer posted her disgust with the new Pope by saying, "He is anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and a total Marxist like Pope Francis. Just another puppet in the Vatican." Critics of Loomer say that if the policies you support are in opposition to a pope's call for basic human rights and decency, then maybe there's something wrong with your policies. Then on Friday, a Tufts University PhD student was released from an immigration detention center after a judge ordered her release. She was detained 6 weeks ago after she was picked up by ICE while walking down the street for writing an op-ed piece that criticized the current events in Gaza. The legal director of the ACLU said, "There's absolutely no evidence that justifies detaining her for a single day, let alone 6.5 weeks. All she did was write a single op-ed piece in her student newspaper where she was exercising her First Amendment right to express an opinion." The next day, we learned that the Trump team is considering suspending habeas corpus to speed up deportations. The White House Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, said, "The Constitution is clear that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion, and it's an option that we're actively looking at. Habeas corpus is used to bring a prisoner before a neutral judge to determine if imprisonment is legal." Critics say that if the Trump administration does find a legal way to suspend it, ICE agents will become more careless, and more innocent people will be detained and even deported. Finally, on Sunday, we learned that Trump is set to accept a jet as a gift from Qatar and will use it for Air Force One until his term ends in 2029. At that point, ownership will be transferred to the foundation, overseeing the construction of his presidential library. The Trump administration has prepared an analysis that says accepting the gift is legal. However, the Constitution is clear that anyone holding office cannot accept any present, emolument, office, or title from any king, prince, or foreign state without congressional consent.